Hi, I'm Jenny. Welcome to my channel. Thanks for joining me today. I'm glad you're here to hang out and play for a while. So today I am back to working on my Halloween journal. I have still not finished it and it's less than 10 days away from Halloween, so I'm not sure it's going to get done this year, but oh well, I guess not. I guess if it doesn't, it'll just be a 3-year project instead of a 2-year. Maybe it'll get done later at some other point. I don't know. Maybe if I do a page every day, it'll get done. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. But what I thought we'd do is I thought we'd make some monsters. So let's set that aside for a second and I'll show you about some of the things I'm thinking. So these are all just things that I cut out from an old copy of InStyle magazine. I don't take the magazine. I usually pick up things like Cosmo InStyle, that sort of thing that has a lot of models and people and cool dresses and shoes and all kinds of interesting stuff in it from the thrift store. So thrift stores often have them. Our used bookstore has them for like $1 a piece, I think, for old ones. I was at a thrift store not too long ago in Globe, Arizona, that had, it was a charity shop that had a box of magazines and it said all magazines $1. And I found some really cool National Geographics and some Arizona Highways and things there for $1 a piece. So check your thrift shop. Goodwill tends not to have magazines, but other thrift shops sometimes have them. So it kind of just depends on the store and maybe what they have. So, you know, ask around. Your library often sells off or gives away books and magazines that they're taking out of circulation. Our library has a sale like every 6 months, every 3 months, something like that. And you can just go buy, you know, books for $1 and magazines for $1 and that kind of stuff. So don't think you have to subscribe to these magazines. You may have friends who subscribe to them and might have, you know, something you could cut up later. You could also use catalogs, things that come in the mail, you know, things like that. The one thing I do like about some of the magazines is that there's a variety of sizes of pictures. So sometimes the people are this big and sometimes they're the whole, you know, it's like the whole page is just the face. So you have a variety of things to work with. So let me show you what I'm thinking about. When I saw this one, I had originally thought I was just going to do like maybe a Bride of Frankenstein paper doll kind of page. And then I got to looking and I didn't really find anything that I thought the face was large enough to do like a whole body and still be able to see the face and that kind of stuff. So I might just do a face Bride of Frankenstein and then put it in. But I saw this one and when I was looking through, I saw this and she's wearing this necklace that's a snake and it made me think of Medusa. So I thought, how fabulous would it be to give her like snakes for hair? I don't know if I'm going to draw snakes or use yarn. I'm kind of leaning towards just drawing kind of a bunch of wild snakes on maybe different shades of green paper and cutting them out, you know, and they're just squiggly. So they're just squiggly, and I could even just kind of use this and do like a little kind of rounded diamond head, rounded triangle for a head, you know, and you could just have serpents and then maybe use some markers or something to make her skin kind of a greenish tint. But I think that would be lots of fun. So another thing I cut out were some pillars that were in the background. So I thought her head could sit on a pillar, you know, because after she's defeated by Jason of Jason and the Argonauts, I think it's Jason, isn't it? Maybe it's Pericles that defeats her. Huh. Yeah, it's not Jason. I think it's, I don't remember. Oh my gosh, it's been so long. Maybe it's I don't remember who defeats Medusa. Shame on me. Okay, I'll have to look it up. Anyway, after she was defeated, she might have her head on a pillar and she might be on display somewhere. So then I found this one, and I don't really know. I thought this one might be kind of a fun Frankenstein-y, you know, Bride of Frankenstein. Not because I dislike the yellow and stuff, but more because the makeup and everything kind of makes her look a little angry. And I like that the face here is very square, like she has kind of a square jawline, you know, so it makes her look like really strong, like Bride of Frankenstein might, you know. And so these might become black, and it might become, you know, there might be stitching here, and we might, you know, do some stitching. I don't know if I would actually put this, since it's really thin magazine page, I'm not sure about putting it in my sewing machine. I feel like I might have to glue it to another piece of paper if I want to actually sew it, which I might do. I'm seriously thinking I might, you know, just do that and then kind of just do some stitching across, you know, that kind of stuff, and around here, sort of. But if you don't want to stitch it, or if you think it's too thin, like I'm not sure, this is kind of thin, and I think my sewing machine might just, you know, rip it because it's so thin. But I'm not sure. But if not, you could always just draw some stitches. You could just draw a line and then put some little, you know, stitches like this, and it could be, you know, because Bride of Frankenstein would have stitches. I mean, I don't know. I haven't looked at any of the old movies of Bride of Frankenstein to see, but, you know, ostensibly, you would think that she might have stitches, and really she would probably only have stitches here where the head was sewn on, but, you know, maybe you could, you know, have some stitches. So that might be a Bride of Frankenstein. That might be fun. And it would just maybe be a close-up, and then maybe do a frame and do like a framed picture of her. And since the top of her head is cut off, we could definitely do some kind of hair, you know, like, and Bride of Frankenstein in the movies traditionally has that kind of, you know, big, high kind of beehive that's, you know, got the white lightning bolts on it. So I don't know about that, but definitely we could do some kind of, you know, beehive hairdo, and maybe either put her at the bottom so she's like just the picture's cut off, or put a picture frame around her, something like that. So that might be fun. This one, and I have obviously already fussy cut all of these just to save some time now, because you don't need to watch me fussy cut. This one I thought might be fun to turn into a vampire. She was very vampire-esque, but I'm not really sure how much I would do to her. I don't know, you know, like, should I just make her skin more pale, like, you know, a little whitish silvery? Do we want to make her lips like really blood red, give her some little fangs? You know, maybe some bat wings. I think some bat wings might be fun. Oh, that might be cool, just some big bat wings. So that might be a fun way to go. And then this one too, I thought this one might make a fun Bride of Frankenstein. You know, if I decide not to do the face. And here's what I thought about this. This could be fun because she has, there's enough skin showing that it would be fun to do stitches, you know, all like her leg got sewn back on, and there's, you know, stitches and stuff. And then do some coloring so she's not in this really, you know, sweet pink and you know, that screams spring outfit. But she has this, so I thought this would be fun because I think we could, you know, do some white, you know, stripes and black and stuff, and then do like white, like a white swirl here, you know. So this is another option, I think, for Bride of Frankenstein. So I'm not really sure where that one's, you know, which one of those is going to get that. But I do want to start, I want to start with Medusa. And so, and maybe we'll do two sets. Maybe we'll do maybe one of the spreads will be like to the faces, and then the other spread could be like this, or maybe she could be a vampire too. I don't know. Could do some vampires. So, all right. So let's pick a couple of pages here. So back to the Halloween Halloween journal. And I've done a few more pages since the last time you saw it. So I did the front page here. And I think I did this one, I think, on video, the crystal ball, but then the angel of death I don't think was just kind of across from it. All right, so we have these pages. So I definitely think we want her on. I'm not loving because there's a guitar here. So this one might be good. The red one might be good for the vampire. Yeah, see, that looks good. And then if we did something with her, she could just live there. Okay, I'm going to leave them tucked on those pages so that we can choose some other pages here. So let's see. Medusa. And the face. Possibly. I'm not sold on the music. This one's a page in progress, so I don't think I want to put just a standalone something there, although we could just put Medusa there, maybe. I think maybe I want to do the double page spread. So here's another 2 pages. This is better because there's no definitive background. I'm bumping this down because I think I'm going to put, you know, something fairly large for the hair up here. And then I'm not sure about a frame or just a face. Okay, so these 2 pages would work. This one, here's another music. I don't think I want that. Yeah. Okay, I think we're gonna use these 2. Okay, so do we want Medusa on this one? I'll move her down a little bit. So I have one that's a little shorter, I guess. I want to make sure there's plenty of room for her crazy hair. And then this one over here, which maybe is good because there's all these splatters and splashes. Okay, all right, let's start with Medusa. Then I'll just leave that there. We'll see how much time we have. By the time we finish Medusa, I don't know if we'll have time to do more than one monster, but it is fun, I think, just to, you know, play with some faces and play with some monsters for my book. Let's move that away. All right. I think we just want to start by attaching her to the page and then deciding, because I don't think anything's going to come out from behind. I think the snakes will all be, well, I don't know, they might. Well, maybe we could just attach the center here. That's probably a good idea. Let's do that. All right, so if we're going to do that, I'll just use some double-sided tape to you know, get this where it's supposed to go. And then we'll leave the edges free to, let's see, is that about the middle? We'll leave the edges free to tuck things under before we finish gluing everything down. And that should work well. Got my trash bucket here. And we'll do the same thing with her. I think I'll just put a piece of double-sided tape down the center. Leave a little bit of gap at the top. And that way she'll kind of be where she's supposed to go, but we'll be able to tuck in snakes and things behind her. I just love, let's see. I feel like I should have, see, I don't know. We pull it down just a little bit. There we go. Okay, now let's figure out how to do some snakes. So let me, yeah, see that leaves all of our edges free, but she's kind of in one spot. So if we want to tuck some snakes behind, which I might, maybe that's a good idea. Let me grab some different shades of green paper. I'm thinking green, and we'll do some snakes. And let's see if I have some kind of green marker or something that's pale, maybe that we can kind of draw, like cover her, make her face all green and that sort of thing. Because you know, traditionally Medusa is kind of a silvery gray green. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Before I color on this one, I want to try it out on a different one. So I've just got another magazine face that I cut out, and I've got an assortment of different things to try here. So I have some colored pencils, which don't really seem to, so I'm just trying to see. I like that one, I like pretty well. Just trying to see, you know, what we might get. That one's maybe a little dark. Not so much. Okay, so I got a couple of green pencils. Let's try the gold over it. See if that gets us anything better or different. Not really. Okay. All right, so I got a couple of green pencils. I have this green aqua marker. It's a water-based marker. So let's see how. It's kind of nice yellowy green, and because it's a water-based marker, it's pretty translucent. That might be a good choice. I think I like that better than, well, I think I like the color of the pencils better, but I like these. So I have some other water-based markers, just an assortment. This is a Staedtler. A couple of these are Staedtlers. And then these are Crayola Signature markers. So these are water-based markers as well. They're all dual tip, so they have a kind of a brush tip on one end, but that's way too dark. I think that's still too dark. Let's try this one. Maybe the water, this certainly seems to kind of just be beating up on the magazine, doesn't it? I don't really like that one. Too dark. Oops. Should have tried the other end here. No, that one's not even writing on it. So it seems like this one might be a good choice for the skin. Let's see. It's kind of greenish. It's kind of a yellowy green. But I think with some other stuff with it, and then maybe this darker one. mouth, maybe the eyes. Just trying to practice a little here and see what I might like before I start on the other. Okay, I think I like that combination. So let's bring back our person here. And I'm just gonna, just so I can not worry about whether or not I can go over the edge, I'm gonna slip this under the edge here. And this is kind of translucent, so I think it'll just show up, you know, show up the shadows and the light and stuff too. So that should make it. Hello, Coco. Oh, hello, kid. How are you? Crafting with cats today. Every day, right? And it looks like it's repelling just a little bit because it's water-based and this paper is treated. So might have to give it a second coat here. It's okay. I'm just gonna do everything because I know I want Medusa to be green, so I want all of her to be green, so I'm gonna just color her whole whites of her eyes, everything. Hello, kid. Yeah. Okay, we'll sit out of the way, okay? Getting close to the other edge here. I'm gonna have to swap it around. Hi, baby. She's like, stop what you're doing and pay attention to me. Yeah, pay attention to me. Okay, let's go back. Yep. How are you? Oh, you gonna purr? Okay. Sweet girl. This is Kid E Cat. She was my daughter's cat, and my daughter moved across country and could not take her with her, and so she came to live with us, and we love her. She's quite the cat. We call her Kid E Cat because she's like Wile E Coyote, super genius. She can figure out lots of things. She's smart. We've never had a cat that wasn't smart, but we've had cats that were smarter than others, and she's definitely one of the smartest ones. So this is not sticking real well, is it? I feel like maybe I should have put a clear coat of gesso on this before we started. That might have helped. But I think it's okay in the end because she's a monster, right? She's not supposed to be pretty. She's supposed to be scary. So, okay. You just gonna lay there? All right. Is that a good spot? Okay. All right, I'm gonna let that sit for a minute and dry a little bit and do some of the darker stuff, and then maybe come back and give it another coat. Hey, bud. Okay, I'm gonna use this one. Don't want to get it too thick in the corners because that was the mistake. One of the mistakes I made on the one that I just tried was that the lines were a little too fat in the corners. So, be careful doing this. You can see she's warping a little bit because she's made from really thin paper. Oh, kid decided to go lay in the chair. Or climb on something. What, sweetie? You're okay. All right, let's do her eyes. I'm going to avoid that little highlight there because I want to leave it. Get some eyebrows in here. Got her mouth a little crooked, didn't I? Oh well. Que sera. Okay, now that that's set a little, I guess it set a little, huh? I mean, it did just sit, but let's try again, go in a different direction here. Hey, what are you into that you're not supposed to be into over there? May have to get up and go get the cat out of the bin that she has climbed in. All right, I'll be right back, guys. I gotta get my cat out of here. Okay, I'm back. You can see I was coloring and I smudged the lipstick a little bit. And so I'm not super happy with this. I'm trying to decide if I can blend in some ink to maybe, you know, help it. I'm not really sure. So I guess pull out our little sample here, see what happens. Just using a little distress ink. Now that doesn't really seem to be doing much, but maybe I didn't get enough on there. I'm thinking I probably should have done that to start with. Well, hindsight's 20/20. Do the best we can. So, all right, let's see. Let's see if we can make this any better. Kid, stop. Hey. Kid. It is smearing a little bit the darker green that was there, but I think the effect is kind of nice, so maybe we'll go back and redo it. We'll see. Magazine paper, you know, is slick and treated, and so it can be problematic sometimes, I think. Let's turn it away. I guess I only need one sheet under there, huh? That might help. And in the end, I guess if it looks a little mottled, then, I mean, she is supposed to be a monster, so she doesn't have to be, you know, perfect skinned Medusa, right? All right. I think that's about as green as we're going to get her. And actually, that looks pretty good. I mean, I tried to avoid the mouth area because I didn't want to smear it anymore. Maybe I can get right up next to it a little bit here. Since I did manage to smear it a little bit. All right, I think once we, once we get the snake on her head, that should be sufficient. All right, let's set her aside here. Snake. Okay, I just brought kind of an assortment of green printed pattern paper, and some of it's paper that's been painted and has wax on it. Some of it has been, this is a little bit of paint and a stencil. Hey, kid, stop. So there are things with paints and stencils. I think this was a print, a jelly print, although this paper is really crumbling. Here's some just printed scrapbook paper. That's what this one is. And then a piece of ledger paper. So I think the idea is just going to be to kind of draw, some loose snakes. So I think, maybe we want to draw them on the back. I don't know. I think if they're just kind of like this, and then maybe they just have like a little triangular head. So let's draw another one here so we don't waste this piece of paper. What are you doing? All right, excuse me. I'm going to put her out this time, so. Come on. Okay, sorry about that. I don't know how many we'll need. I think just a few, a couple in each pattern of paper should be sufficient. Let's see, size-wise. How's that looking? So we could put some here. Some longer ones. Okay. Maybe a longer one and a shorter one in each pattern of paper, and we'll see how that goes. Kind of so obviously I am just, doing a really loose little snake shape here. You could be much more precise if you wanted to be, certainly. I want a darker one for this paper. I'm just gonna keep doing this and cutting out a couple from each of the pieces of paper, and I'll be back when that's done. Okay, I'm back. I have a little pile of snakes here, just cut out from those different papers. I liked this one, and so I just kind of used some of the scraps and cut out some extras, so we have plenty. And now I think we're just gonna like build the layers. And so I do think we want something behind so that it looks like they're coming out, you know, from behind. And I think we just kind of want to randomly do some of the longer ones on the front and the top, maybe. Yeah, so. And it's okay, like if they stick up above the page, we'll just cut some off. So I'm just, since I have extras of this one, I'm gonna go ahead and kind of use that as a background. And some of these, it's just gonna be a matter of layering them over the front. Oops. Do you think I want several sticking out of the back, and then we'll put some coming down around her face? I think, yeah. Trying to kind of follow her face a little bit, but I think I just want them kind of haphazard. We can cut off the ones that stick out over her face too. Too much of it. Maybe we want to do it this way. Just moved it around. Okay, I think I kind of have the general idea. So I think I am going to just start gluing some down behind. And actually, looking at it, I think I want to kind of fill in. I think I want. I think I want them fairly close behind, so I think the idea will be, I want to make sure they're kind of random, so since I have the most of those, I think I might start with those in the background. Yeah. I probably should have sorted them to start with. So I could see what I had. Okay, you get the idea. I'm just going to start randomly placing them behind and sticking them down. And that's probably going to take me a little while, so I don't know that you need to watch that. So I'll either cut it and come back when I'm done gluing, or I'll speed up the process so it goes a lot faster. Okay, I'm back. It's been a while, guys. I'm really sorry. I mean, it's only been a few seconds or a second for you guys, but my phone rang twice. There was somebody at the door. It's been a little quick crazy this afternoon. So that has kind of pushed me down. So I'm not gonna probably have time to do another layout today, but I did get all of the snakes glued down. And I did go in, you could see a little bit of her hair, so I just used some little scraps and filled in. It kind of just looks like a nest of snakes here. And I really like that, and I gave it a little bit of an outline just around here. I contemplated outlining the snakes. I feel like it needs something else, but I'm not really sure what that is. So I'm going to look at it for a day or so maybe, and then I will, if there's something else, I will add it or whatever, and I will come back and show it to you when it's done. And so I'll see you in a few seconds, which will probably actually be closer to tomorrow for me, but I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. I've walked away for a little while, and I'm actually back the same day. I thought it was going to be tomorrow, but it's actually a little later in the same day, so that's good. I walked back in and I looked at it and I thought, it needs some bling. Well, duh, right? We all know that I have no such thing as too much bling, and I have not put anything bling on here. So I just went through and glued some little jewels for the eyes, and all I did was cut apart some of this stuff that I got at Dollar Tree. So it's the diamond wrap, comes in multiple colors. So I just cut it down. I just cut it into little strips, and then I cut them apart and got little jewels that I just kind of went through and glued on some of the eyes, some of the heads of the snakes. Not all of them have them. And then up in here where it's kind of a jumble, I just kind of picked a place that looked like it might be a head. Like I probably could have put some there, but maybe might need another set up here. But that's what I've done, and so I feel like Medusa is finished, and I feel like she is ready to go into the book. So I hope you had a good time. If you did, please hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, we're getting close to that 1,000 subscriber mark, so please hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, so that you don't miss any content. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think about the monster, and maybe what other monsters we should make, right? Until next time, I hope you guys have a fabulous day, and I hope you get in some playtime. Go make some magic in your life. Bye.